Hello everybody, welcome to a new reading. Today I want to continue with the friendship readings for Red Velvet. I haven't done one in a very long time, and since they're a small group, I think I just need a couple more to finish all of the possible pairs within Red Velvet. So this time I'm going to do one for Joy, which I haven't done one in a very long time. So in this case we're going to do Wendy and Joy and figure out how they get along. Now the first card that we're going to take out is going to be one that will represent their relationship. So let's take that card out. We have Cucumber with emotions. This is an earth element, and we have Cancer energy. And also, I think we have a Palo Santo be lit up. So this kind of shows that the type of relationship that they have is one that is filled with healing. It is one where emotions are being embraced or shown, and it is a sense of grounding. They both really feel at home with each other because the Cancer energy kind of shows that they do see each other close, like that they are within their close circles. They do treat each other as family in the sense of like strong support, a strong emotional support system that brings cleansing and like this grounding energy. We also have the number 4, which I do see a structure, home, and grounding, setting roots. Anyway, and also with this Cucumber, I'm thinking of someone that feels very refreshed, someone that feels pretty healthy, you know what they say, cool like a cucumber. So I wonder if their connection is supposed to represent one where they're kind of chill, having fun, being relaxed, and feeling a sense of refreshed energy. So there is a high chance that when they see each other, they really feel like, woof, I can breathe again, I can like come to my senses again, and I let go of any baggage or anything external that could be holding them back. Now let's get one card that will represent Wendy in this relationship. So I'll take the Page of Pentacles. And then one card that will represent Joy in this relationship. The Justice card reverse. So Wendy is represented by this Page of Pentacles. So this kind of shows that she has a lot to learn, or she feels like there's so many things that she can learn. It could be in a sense of career. Since it's Pentacles, it can be career, money, material possessions. That's what I wanted to say. And the pages usually talks about an idea. It talks about like this young energy. I guess the best way I can describe this is that the card that represents Wendy shows her as a person that is willing to learn a lot, willing to understand how to ground herself, how to feel a bit more like she's part of Earth, kind of like, Wendy to Earth, and then she kind of like feels like she can finally come to her senses quite like again. There is a sense of like learning how to start new things in her career, new projects, or how to even think about her abundance as a person. So I think that is something that she could be embodying in this relationship. Now, for Joy, the card that represents her is Justice reverse, which is Libra energy. This kind of shows that Joy brings a sense of, I was going to say a sense of harmony and balance, but I also feel that this Justice card reverse kind of shows that Joy in this relationship usually comes when she feels a little bit out of it, when she feels like she's not in her like completely stable or on her senses, or she unwinds when she's with Wendy, which makes sense because we have a Cucumber, and I mentioned earlier the sense of like a sense of fresh air, a sense of like cleansing. So they kind of have a relationship where from Wendy's side she has a new set of eyes and a new perspective, a new approach. That's what I wanted to say. And with Joy, she is kind of like unwinding and be like, let me get myself back together, let me relax, let me just kind of like vent and rant about all the things that have been going, all the injustices that I have experienced. So that's kind of like where they stand right now. But let's go on to the third question, or the third set of cards, which is, how does Wendy see Joy? We have the Nine of Swords, and that makes sense. And how does Joy see Wendy? We have the Page of Cups reverse. Oh, interesting. So from Wendy's part, she sees Joy as someone that is usually very stressed, someone that overthinks, someone that is overwhelmed and filled with anxieties. So again, the way that Wendy sees Joy is because Joy kind of like unwinds when she's with Wendy. She kind of goes like, let me tell you about how my day has gone and it sucks, or let me tell you how I'm overthinking all of these things. So keep that in mind, that this card came up because of the way that Joy comes off to Wendy, right? It's like, so Wendy sees Joy as someone that has a lot to worry about, as someone that has a lot on her mind, and also as someone that stresses quite easily. And I want to emphasize again that the reason why she sees that is because Joy comes off as this justice card reverse. So Joy probably goes to Wendy when she feels like she's not okay, basically. Now, on the other hand, the way that Joy sees Wendy is as someone that is a little bit too guarded with her emotions, because the Page of Cups usually symbolizes, again, a page, symbolizes someone that's quite young and someone that has a big imagination, someone that's very creative, someone that's very spiritual, someone that is connected to their emotions or is learning how to connect to their emotions. So someone that's quite immature in that sense. Not immature as in like childish, but immature in the sense of someone that is just so new to the idea of understanding their emotions and working with them. So with this card reverse, it kind of shows that Joy sees Wendy as someone that doesn't really guide herself by emotions, or someone that doesn't really want to talk about that, or doesn't want to open up about those kind of things. And the reason could be because Wendy is being represented by a pentacle, so Wendy tries to be a bit more practical. Even though their connection is one based on emotions, I do feel that from Joy's part there's a lot of swords, so there's a lot of mental energy of like this intellect of like, how should I communicate this, how should I think about this, how should I view this, right? So being cold in that sense of like, let me think about this from the mind. And from Wendy is like, let me think about this in a practical way, right? Like, what are the tools that we have? What is the most realistic approach? What is the most logical, easiest way of doing this and solving this issue? So in this case, it kind of shows that Joy sees Wendy as someone that is a little bit too detached from her heart and her emotions. And that could also be the reason why Joy goes to Wendy, because like, we have this emotional connection where you understand me and you can sympathize with me, but also you think so differently from the way that I do, that you're able to give me this new point of view and perspective that helps me see things from a completely different point of view, which allows me to overcome some of the things that I'm overthinking. I think that's kind of like what's going on here. Let's go on to the next part and see how do they like to spend their time together. We have Chrysanthemum with longevity. This is an air element, and we have Scorpio energy. So how do they like to spend their time together? I think they like to think about the future. They like to think about, there's a sense of nostalgia here as well. So I do feel that they like to think about the passage of life and how things, being nostalgic about the things that happened in the past, then talk about what's going on right now with them, and then also thinking about the future and how things can change. So they have a dynamic where they like to kind of talk about life and time and just how things are happening and moving and changing. And with the Scorpio energy, they have like this long in-depth view about things, and it's like, oh, I remember when these things happen and how they affect us now and how they could affect us in the future. So they like to get a little bit more in depth with that. Now we do have two water signs, we have Cancer and Scorpio, so this kind of shows that they have a very strong intuitive and emotional connection with each other. Even though we have Earth and Air representing these cards, it kind of shows that they're both have a very grounded way of speaking about things, as well as a very intellectual way of viewing things. And what I mean by intellectual is that they're very good at just seeing the facts for what they are and understanding how things can work out, as like being very good at predicting how things are going to work out. Like, oh, you're usually like this, so of course you're going to encounter this issue or encounter that problem or this and that. And I do feel that by having these conversations, they have a better idea of how they're slowly transforming and changing throughout their life and growing as individuals. And I think that this definitely helps both of them be grounded in the sense of understanding how nothing just happens just because. Like, there is, like, if something happened in the past, it is part of their growth. It is part of who they are as an individual right now. It's not like an isolated incident that they can not relate to ever again. So I do feel that they have conversations that allows them to see things in retrospect. I think that's the best way I can describe it. And they like to talk about time, so I do wonder if they like to have these conversations to understand where they could end up in the future, and that allows them to see their shortcomings as well. They sound like old ladies, not gonna lie. Now let's go on to the next section and figure out what do they like about each other. So what does Wendy like about Joy? Oh, we have the Nine of Cups. That's pretty good. And what does Joy like about Wendy? We have Temperance reverse and the Ten of Swords reverse. Okay. I think I know what that means. So with the Nine of Cups, very clear. What Wendy likes about Joy is that Joy is someone that makes her dreams come true. Joy is an individual that dreams big and accomplishes those goals. Because this Nine of Cups talks about someone that is emotionally satisfied, someone that is, it's like a dream come true. So I do feel that Wendy could see Joy as a friend that she wanted or needed, or she can see Joy as someone that is very satisfied with achieving her goals, and that's something that Wendy probably really admires as well. She really likes how Joy is someone that tries to live her life to her fullest, or tries to be optimistic. Maybe not optimistic, but is someone that definitely accomplishes her goals. So if she says, I'm going to do this, she accomplishes it. And I think Wendy really likes that about her. Her ability to stay optimistic, her ability to just make her dreams come true, and just her ability to just be happy with life and just enjoy the the joys of life, right? So I think Wendy really likes how Joy is a very happy person, basically. Now, from Joy's point of view, the thing that she likes about Wendy is that even when Wendy is impatient or she's out of balance or out of harmony, she still doesn't allow that things to get to her. So I guess a sense of being optimistic, because the Ten of Swords usually talks about someone that is so mentally overwhelmed, or they're thinking so much that it's starting to affect their body. So I guess the best example is like if someone's so stressed that they start like overeating, or they're so stressed that they stop eating, right? So they reach those extremes that they kind of neglect their body, or they start hurting their body by like overindulging on things. And so with this Ten of Swords reverse, it kind of shows that even when Wendy feels very overwhelmed, she tries her hardest to not reach that point of actually making it show through. So with these two cards here, it kind of shows that Joy really likes Wendy's strong mind, and her ability that even when things seem to be out of balance or seem like they're not working out, Wendy still tries to stay strong. And I think Joy really likes that and admires Wendy's ability to still find a sense of harmony or balance, even when she is like feeling like all over the place or very out of place somehow, or like again not feeling grounded. And I think this is important because the type of dynamics that they have is one where they like to kind of like come together and like cleanse each other from like whatever has been bothering them or whatever is holding them back in their life. And they kind of just talk to each other. Like, I think they could just have a normal conversation of like, oh, hi, how you doing? The weather is nice. And then they go their separate ways. And that's like a refreshing encounter. It's like, wow. It was nice to see my friend again. Like that kind of vibe. So, I do feel that in that sense, it can, I think Joy just really likes how Wendy is someone that she can rely on, basically. But let's go on to the sixth question here and figure out what have they learned from each other. So what has Wendy learned from Joy? We have the Ace of Cups. Oh my god. The Ace of Pentacles reverse and the Empress reverse. Now I took that card out because it kind of jumped when I was shuffling. So I was like, I'm curious what that card is. And what has Joy learned from Wendy? Oh, a Hierophant. That's good. So the thing that Wendy has learned from Joy is her potential. So I'm seeing these two cards, even though they're very good cards. So even though they're reversed, I think this is a sense of potential, which kind of makes sense why we have the Page of Pentacles right here with with Wendy. So the thing that Wendy has learned about Joy is how to, no, what is the word I'm looking for? Something about not taking herself for granted, not making herself smaller. No, I guess I'll put it a different way. Wendy has learned from Joy how to reach her potential, or to see her potential is greater than what Wendy puts herself in. That makes sense. So let's say Wendy is like, oh, this is as much as I can accomplish, and Joy is like, no, you have all the skills, all this talent, all this and that. You can like reach the sky and above, right? So basically, Joy hypes her up to the point that Wendy has learned to not belittle herself. I think that's the word I was looking for. So this Ace of Pentacles reverse kind of shows that Wendy has learned to not give up before starting from Joy. She has also learned how to see new beginnings as less scary. So instead of seeing them as a again, Wendy likes how Joy has a goal in mind and she accomplishes it. So in that sense, that could be a source of inspiration for Wendy, in the sense of like she has learned that just because starting something new can be scary does not mean that there's no potential for it to grow and actually succeed. And I'm saying that because we also have the Empress here reversed, and that kind of shows that Wendy has learned from Joy how to be a bit more confident, even though she hasn't embodied that herself. She has at least seen from Joy how to be confident, how to accomplish her dreams, how to start new projects and push forward to make them succeed, accomplishing her goals after setting them. So Wendy has just learned how to have how to be creative. Now I'm saying that because the Page of Cups does talk about imagination and creativity. So with it in reverse, it kind of shows that Joy sees Wendy as someone that limits herself a lot because she does not see the limitless possibilities of her growth. So bringing this back here, it kind of shows that the thing that Wendy has learned from Joy is how to open up her mind, how to believe in the impossible, and how to reach the stars. That's the best way I can describe this. Is like being confident in her skills and in her potential and just growing from that. Now, the thing that Joy has learned from Wendy is how to be a bit more structured, because we have the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant does talk about structure. It is number 5, so it is about change. I just noticed that they're bald. So I think Joy has learned from Wendy how to have fun in life, because I mean I just realized that, and I just thought that was kind of funny. So she has learned how to like laugh at authority. I don't know if that's something good or bad, but it's just kind of like not take things too seriously. That's one way. Now the other thing, despite being able to kind of laugh at serious things, it's also like Joy has learned from Wendy how to kind of structure herself and how to like put herself back together, which we kind of talked about earlier with the other cards that we got with Justice Reverse, the 9 of Swords. And the things that Joy has also learned from Wendy is like, I think Joy has like sees Wendy as a guiding point or as a sort of teacher on how she can feel a bit more stable and how to work within the rules or within her industry, but not in a way that feels daunting, but in a way where it's like, oh, okay, I understand this is just how things work, but I don't necessarily need to tie myself to this structure. So there is a sense of self-understanding, but what am I trying to get at? It's like Joy has learned from Wendy how to work by the rules, but also how to be herself. So I think, again, Wendy really likes how Joy is a very confident person. So I do feel that she just told Joy, be yourself, continue being confident and unapologetically you. Just understand that this is like the rules that have to be followed. So this is as much as you have to do before you start getting in trouble. Because I do have an idea that Joy may have talked about her injustices, and Wendy kind of just went like, look about this in a practical way. This is the things that have to be done, but you don't have to compromise these things about yourself. So finding that balance of like, this is who I am, but then these are my responsibilities, and this is what I can tolerate, but these are my boundaries. Like, this is as much as I'm willing to compromise for my work and for the industry I'm in, but not at the cost of who I am as an individual. So I think that's kind of like the thing that Joy has learned from Wendy, how to have this balance between herself and her work. Now, to wrap this reading up, let's get a card to see the reason as to why Wendy and Joy met. You know, in like a destiny, life, universe type of way. Why did they meet? They met because of lechuga. No, hold up. So we have cos lettuce with desire. Here we have Cancer energy, so again, a bunch of water. And we have the number 3. I was gonna say something else. Oh, and the earth element. I was gonna point something else out. So the reason that they met was so they could both learn how to make their dreams come true, or how to be themselves without being overwhelmed with the external issues that they may encounter. From Wendy's side is her limiting beliefs, and from Joy's side is the sense of injustices that she may feel with her workplace, probably. So the reason that they met was so like that they could both almost act like a mirror to each other, and like learn from their past, present, and future, like the path that they're walking on, and being able to kind of adjust it accordingly, so like that they can like be who they want to be and do what they want to do in their life. We do have the 9 of Cups, so I do feel that there's like a connection right there of like being able to accomplish your dreams, make them come true, by understanding like the path that they're walking on, and being kind of like this sense, is catharsis the word that I'm looking for, but like oasis is another word that came up as well, but like being like this safe space for each other where they can like communicate and hype each other up to make their dreams come true. But so the reason that they met was so like that they can be like a what I'm looking for, yeah, like a safe space, but also like a rest point or like a rest stop, so like that they can like recenter themselves, as in like being able to, from Wendy's part, hype herself up to do what the unimaginable for her, and from Joy's part to kind of recenter herself and be a bit more practical, so not allowing her emotions to overwhelm her and not allowing her mind to consume her with overthinking. Anyway, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It seems like every time I say anything with the word joy in it, I always lose it, especially since I'm reading for Joy right now. But it was very nice to see that they do have like a very strong emotional connection that allows both of them to give each other the strength to just make their dreams come true and like overcome obstacles. Again, from Wendy's part is her limiting beliefs, and from Joy's part is not allowing her emotions to overwhelm her to the point that she becomes impractical and unrealistic. So again, a sense of grounding, being a bit more earthy from Joy's part, and from Wendy being a bit more open to, I guess, to the unexpected was what I was gonna say, but like to the ability of growth. So yeah, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you find it entertaining or at least learn from it. And I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.